Hello. So today is April 23rd. We're going to do an inspection on the yellow hive. The last time I was in here there was no queen, or at least I could not find signs of any queen. I still see activity at the entrance, which is always good. There's some bees that are bringing in pollen. I trust others are bringing in water and nectar and whatever else. But if there's no queen, it's about time to start taking action. But for this hive, they've got a habit of building wax upward. So I'm going to determine if they should be supered. And if they do, I'll slap a box on top that I've got ready to go. The other thing I want to do is increase the size of this entrance. The other day I was standing out in front of both of these hives and they were having, not necessarily problems, but trying to get in and out. It was a little traffic jam. So let's get started. Alright, so just one bee on the inner cover. Wax moth. Wax moths are another pest of honeybee hives. So one of the things I'm considering doing, depending on if I see a queen or a decent population, is just shrinking down this hive. Something I was pondering doing last time I was in here, but I did not do it because I thought the population was good enough. We'll see if that remains the case today. Alright, so all workers okay. Queen excluder looks fine. Hive beetle mitigation, caught a few, but empty out a frame, which is what I kind of expect. This is a nice heavy frame. It's full of nectar on this side. It's full of nectar on this side. It's a great looking nectar frame. This frame is lighter, but it is a mixture of nectar and pollen. I see what appears to be a drone feeding itself, which I don't think is normal behavior. Interesting. Mostly pollen, or excuse me, mostly nectar on this side as well. Okay. The population does seem a little lighter than the last time I was in here. Okay. So I see larvae. Excellent. That's what I want to see. And I see a queen. This frame is full of larvae. Okay, the queen's near the top. Right over there. So this colony has requeened itself successfully, so I'm happy about that. And then this frame is full of brood and larvae. Like, just about every cell has larvae, so this is excellent. So I don't even care to go through the rest of this hive at all at this point. They're doing well. Building all this extra comb on the bottom, which is dumb, but whatever. I'm happy. So I'm gonna super this hive. Maybe I could get some honey out of it. Look at the next frame. That's full of brood, dude. So the population is a little light, but she's laying. Alright, so I'm happy. I'm just gonna replace my hive beetle mitigation and then super this hive. hive beetle mitigation. I'll put on this side this time, just to be different, no specific reason. Queen excluder. And then because this hive has successfully requeened itself, a super. Alright, so supers are the term used to describe the box whose sole purpose is to gather honey. So in between here is the queen excluder, that way the queen can't pass through to lay eggs. I'm using what's called a shallow super, which effectively is a much smaller frame. You can see the size of this frame compared to the rest of the size of the box. So this will be full of honey supposedly, and then what I could do with that is extract it in the future. So this hive has surprised me and is doing well, so I'm happy. So hopefully they start naturally going into that top box and have some fun with it. Unfortunately, I don't have any frames that have been started for the purpose of the super, so completely empty, which is fine, because whatever they fill inside that box, I'll extract at the end of the season. Now I have honey. Alright, move on to the blue hive next. Alright, so we're on the blue hive now. So just a regular standard checkup just to make sure things are looking okay. I suspect as such. Again, they're building up, which is irritating me. So I'll clean that up and I'll clean whatever's on the top cover up. I do want to make sure that there's signs of a queen, and then I'll put a super on top. That way they could build on the super instead of building on the inner cover. I am going to treat this hive slightly differently, just as an experiment. The yellow hive survived very well as 2 deeps. Look at all those bees, dude. There's a massive amount of bees in here. So this hive is doing fantastic. So me supering, this will be an opportune time. I just want to make sure I don't see the queen on this cover. Since there's wax, there's a chance that she may want to lay in it. And I want to avoid accidentally losing her. I don't see the queen anywhere, so let's just start. Let's crack open a few frames. Trivia question. Did they like that? This is probably gonna be mostly empty. Empty on that side. They are building up here, but otherwise it's an empty frame. I suspect it's probably empty because this next frame is like bulging out from all the resources they've got. I'll see if I could show that to you. This hive is not propolising stuff as much as the... Oh wow, this is heavy. Okay, so it's super heavy, but like, as you can see, only the top like quarters actually full and capped. The bottom half isn't even fully drawn out, but this frame is super heavy. Oh, all right, we got plenty of capped brood and nectar and capped resources. I see a queen, I see 2 queen cups, so they might be preparing to swarm. I'm hoping with the extra space I put on here that's not an issue. They look empty. Goodness, this frame is heavy, dude. Let's take a look at least one more. Another very heavy frame. There's a little capped brood, mostly nectar. Lots of capped brood on this side. with nectar all intermingled, so they could use some extra space. This hive is packed full. I like it. I'm going to one more frame. One more. Lots of nectar. This frame is, or this hive is mostly nectar, it seems. But there is cap brood. I would love to see some larvae. Oh, super heavy, man. Oh, let's just keep going. I want to see. I would prefer to see larvae, not just cap brood. Lighter weight frame. Still see mostly nectar. Mostly nectar. Okay, there's another queen cell that's capped and sealed at the top. So, and there's at least 2 on the bottom here. Well, okay. Interesting. So they're like close to wanting to swarm. See this frame? Again, mostly nectar. There's a few drone cells at the top that are capped. Okay, don't see any sign of like larvae. I want larvae. Another really heavy frame. Looks like it's all nectar. All nectar. All nectar. We got a couple of queen cups on the bottom. One of them is sealed. There's a few others, but I can't tell if they've got stuff in them or not. So maybe the queen has failed in this colony. I see some cap brood, but you know, that doesn't necessarily mean there's a queen. Either the queen has failed or like they just don't have space to lay. I see lots of cap brood right in the like center-ish of this frame. Ugh, my back hurts. All nectar on the other side. Alright, all nectar. Nothing but nectar. But they've drawn out quite a few frames since the last time I was in here. So I'm going, the last frame is empty. So it's like the roles of these frames have reversed themselves. Or hives. So now I'm worried about this one because I don't see a queen. But I'm gonna still super it with the hopes that they'll start building wax upward. I'm still gonna put the queen excluder in place to intentionally keep this hive smaller, but that's just an experiment. That could be doing more harm than good technically, just because I could tell they're kind of low on space right now. If I had frames with wax on it, I'd do something different probably. But I just haven't been beekeeping long enough to have extra stuff laying around. Super heavy, goodness dude. That is just really surprising how heavy that frame is. Alright, yeah, see, no bees. But they built wax, so I'm going to clean that up, put the queen excluder on. Hive beetle mitigation. queen excluder. A super for them to start utilizing. Alright, now this hive is effectively done. I just need to flip that entrance. Alright, so like I mentioned, the last thing I need to do was reverse the entrance. That way it's just got a wider hole. I angered them a little bit trying to get that thing adjusted. The metal grate that you see is just there to prevent mice from trying to get in during the winter. I'm just going to leave that on because there's no use in taking that off because I don't plan on adjusting the entrance size at all. So there it is, blue hive. You see where I homemade this stuff and split the wood. Oops. Yellow hive is doing well, so I'm happy. The only inspection left for me to do is the other hive, but like that's too difficult to get to, so I'm not gonna film that one. I'm done.